Hey, shalom everyone. Good to see you all. Let's see who's here. Let me know how the audio is. Shalom, Gary, servant of Hashem, Landa, Michael, Troy, Ken, Tet, Brenda, Betty, Thea, Frank in Thailand. Shalom, good to see you, buddy. Esther. All right, great. Hello. Hi, guys. So glad you're here. Mentat Assassin. Great, so many here on time. I really appreciate that. We broke the minion easily. Okay, so let's, I'm thinking maybe we'll start with a psalm. Okay, so I thought I was going to do Psalm 9, but I just kind of feel led to do Psalm 54. That's what came in mind when I said a little prayer, what should we do? So let's see. Maybe it will be apropos. This will be our opening prayer, okay? Yes, Ken Yiratzon, what Landis says, may Adonai, may the Lord increase our ministry. Yes, may that be His will. Thank you for that, sister. Hey, Gabrielle, shalom. Lamnat, actually it's kind of small. Hold on, let me, bigger. There we go, yeah. Yeah, looks good, okay. למנצח בנגינות maskil לדוד. בבוא הזיפים ויאמרו לשאול. Hello, David, מסתתר עמנו. Okay, so למנצח, for the, maybe maybe we'll try to decide if I'll translate or not. For the conductor, on the neginot, this is having some kind of musical term. A lot of these musical terms are very ancient and we don't know what they mean. The root of nagun is it's like a song that is done with instruments. It's not a cappella. It's like, I don't know if we have a term for this in English, the opposite of a cappella. Actually, the opposite would be instrumental. So it's instrumental and voices, right? A nagun can be both. It can be just instrumental or it can be instrumental and voices. I mean, you can do it in voices. Like, if a Hasidic guy says, let's do a nagun, it sounds like, you might have heard this, or lie. Yeah, there's like no real lyrics. That can also be nagun, yeah? Where the human voice is just being an instrument, so. Anyway, so I'm not sure if I'm going to translate the whole thing. I don't want to use all of our time on the psalm since we have a psalm night, but, hold on. There's an artifact in the camera. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Maskil is a contemplative song. It's from the word sekhel, which is intelligence. Or maskil is like causing understanding. Interesting. So maybe, I don't know if anybody's been suffering with understanding something in their life, trying to wrap their minds around maybe a new problem or something. Maybe that's why we're doing this psalm. Le David, of David. Bevo Hazifim. The Hazifim, when these guys came to him, they're from that place. Vayamuru, and they said, Lishaul, to King Saul, Hello, David, is not David mistater, hiding imanu with us? So this is when David was running from Saul, right? He wanted to kill him. Elohim b'shimcha hoshi'eni. So now we have Dave. That sets the frame, and now David's praying, Oh Elohim, oh God, b'shimcha, by your name, or on account of your fame, your reputation, hoshi'eni, rescue me, save me. See, Yeshua, the verb is yasha, this is hiphil, to cause to yasha. Rescue me. Uvigvuatecha, and by your might, like your lofty might, tedineni, judge me. Judge me. Elohim shim'a tefilati ha'azina le'imrei fi. Oh God, hear my tefillah. The tefillah of t-e, of me. Ha'azina. This is a causative. It's a backwards verb from ozen, is ear. Azan is like to hear. Yeah. And ha'azin, that's a hiphil. It's like lend me your ears, like Shakespeare would say, right? Like cause to ear me. Okay? So hear my prayer and give ear le'imrei fi, to the utterances of my fe, my mouth. Ki zarim kamu alai ve'aritzim bikshu nafshi, because aliens have stood up against me. We're not talking about E.T. here. Ve'aritzim, and fierce, like barbaric ones. Bikshu, they seek nafshi, my life, my nefesh, my soul. Lo samu Elohim lenegdam selah. Please do not set them, like grant them, O Elohim, O God, lenegdam, to be across from them, selah. And selah, it's this mysterious word, which I will side with the German pastor I knew, who I thought got it right. He said, shout out to Pastor Staub, wherever you are, that this means stop and think about it. Hinei, Elohim alzeli, Adonai besomekh nafshi. Behold, God helps me. Adonai, my lords. That's a plural. Adonai is my Lord, Adonai is my lords, which is how we refer to God, probably having to do with his achdut, his echad, his complex unity. Besomekh nafshi, as support for my life, or for my soul. So somekh is like to lean on something or to support. It has both those meanings. This is where we get the word for rabbinical ordination, right? Like I've got smicha, right? It's from the same thing, like the leaning on of hands, I guess. And this is a plural, which makes it an abstract concept. So the support of my soul or my life. Okay, now you notice here there's no vowel, so we probably have it in the column. Let's see here. Oh, there it is. Okay. So the Masoretes, they didn't put vowels here because they're like, hey, this is pointed weird. Okay? So here's how they think it should be. Yashiv. Yashiv, that means cause to shuv, cause to return. Hara, the wicked, the evil one. The shorarai. Okay. So may evil things return to the shorarai. A shorer is like the opposite of a shomer. In one of the other Psalms, we're told that Adonai is, we hear that he lo yishan velo yanum, shomer Yisrael. He doesn't slumber. He doesn't sleep. The watchman of Israel. Hello, Dr. Jones. And a shorer is someone who's like an evil shomer. A shomer is protecting you. He's a guard, a watchman, like that. That's one of God's titles, right? But a shorer, he's watching out for your downfall. It's like, you ever had people in your life like this? Like they want bad things to happen to you. They're glad. It pleases them. So he says, Yashiv, may hara, the evil, and it's the evil, not just evil. So probably meaning what they intended. May it return to those who watch me for evil intent. Shorarai. So shorarim, drop the mem, shorarai, put on a yod, of me, shorarai. Sorry, I'm going fast because Psalm. It's our opening prayer, right? Plus, I want you to understand. Ba'amitcha hatzmitem. Wow. If any of you are in a spiritual battle, then this is for you. Emet is the word. Emet, meaning truth, or fidelity, right? Fidelity. Be means by means of, or as an instrument of. Amit, the emet of cha, by instrument of your fidelity or your truth. Hatzmitem, annihilate them. May you annihilate them, is what that says. Bin nedavah ezbechah lach, odei shimcha Adonai ki tov. Okay. Bin nedavah, with a nadav. We just had this recently. We're talking about nadav. Nadav is to act freely, or to give a gift freely. A nedavah is a free will offering that was given to the temple, not to cover up for a sin, not to make things right. Just because you were grateful to God, you could give them a nedavah, right? Nedavah was when the people gave terumah, the tribute. They would give gold, they would give copper, they'd give silver, they'd give tachelet, right? The kind of bluish, the blau wool, right? In Yiddish, the bluish wool. They'd give the argaman, the purple wool, right? And these kind of precious materials was tribute to the temple, like for the fund of the ministry that was being done by the Levites. And that was, this whole verb is used. The one who was, remember, who was nadav libo, who his heart was willing. So with a nedavah, with a free will offering. Ezbechah, zavach, to sacrifice. That's where we get a zavach, which is a sacrifice, and a mizbeach, which is an altar, the thing in which you sacrifice. The aleph tells you it's I. Ezbach means I will sacrifice, but ezbechah, that extra hey, that gives it extra oomph. It's like an exclamation point. I will indeed sacrifice, or may I sacrifice lach to you. O day, I will give thanks. I will give todah. O day, the aleph is like ani, I. I will give thanks, shimcha, your reputation, your fame, your name. Oh, Yod Hey, Wow Hey. Oh, Hashem, oh, sacred name. Ki tov, for it is good, or you are good is implied. It's probably the cha we're borrowing from Shimcha. Ki mikol tsara hitzilani, uve'oyevai ra'ata aini. Okay. Ki, for, because, mi, from, kol, all, tsara, distress. It's from the verb tsarar, to be in a narrow place. Hitzilani. This is from the verb natsal. It's a pei noon verb. The noon assimilated into the tzadi. That's why the dagish. There's two. Natsal is to snatch up, right? And this is a hiphil. The cause to snatch up. To cause to snatch up metaphorically means to rescue. Shalom Yakar. Shalom William. Hitzilani. You have rescued me. Uve, and against, oyev is enemy. The oyevim are enemies. Drop the mem. Oyvei, enemies of. Oyevai, my enemies. Uve oyevai, and against my enemies. Ra'ata aini. Ra'ata, you have made see aini, my eye. So the idea is, you've made me even watch their destruction. This hatzmi tame that he was praying for. Okay, and you have to understand too, just because someone hurts your feelings at work doesn't mean you get to pray the psalm against them, okay? Remember, David is being hunted to extinction, right? The wicked King Saul wants to kill him and all those who are with him. So this is kind of a very specific kind of situation. We're not praying for just someone we don't like to be annihilated, okay? So, all right, so that's a psalm. But in a case of war, absolutely, right? If it's spiritual war and there's demonic forces, or someone is possessed and they're trying to destroy you, your family, your ministry, etc., absolutely legitimate to pray. At least against the spiritual forces who are there doing this stuff. What is that behind me? How interesting. Okay. Ah, I left that. The pattern looked interesting with the green screen. Okay, so that was Psalm 54. I felt led by the Ruach to read that one. And hopefully that's helpful for someone out there struggling with something. Okay, so let's get to our Exodus study. Yeah, it's funny when I'm praying and the number comes to mind. I don't usually even know what it's going to be about, so it's interesting to see it unfold. Okay. Okay, 25. Oh, the other side. 25, verse 10, I think, tonight, right? Oh, here we are. 10. Now, I looked at the graphic novel, and again, it's just tons of words and no picture, really, so that's why we're still here. Mm-hmm. There we go. Okay, bear with me just for a sec. All right, not shabby. So glad you guys are here. All right, decent turnout. Not too bad for an Exodus reading. Verse Yod, right? Remember we ended with the end of the pericope there, okay? ועשו אהרון עצי שתים 250 אורכו ואמה וחצי רוחבו ואמה וחצי קומתו. Maybe think of comatose. Lo aleinu. All right. Ve'asu. Asa, you guys know asa? Asa, it's a lamed hey verb. Remember the pattern for the verbs? P, ul, pa'al, right? So pei, ayin, and then here's the lamed position. So the pei position is an ayin. Okay, that's the p. The ayin position is a sin. And then the hey position is a hey, but the hey has gone away, right? So asa became asu. The u means they. Asu is they did or they made. Ve'asu changes the aspect, so and they will do or and they will make aron, a chest, a box. We usually translate this ark, right? But it's like a chest. A chest, you can use this word for, that's fine, I won't put that in your head. Aron, an ark of atzei, so eitz means tree or wood. That was one of our very early Hebrew words of the day, eitz. And you guys, if you forgot eitz, if you do a synagogue service, you probably will remember, yes, thank you, Brenda, eitz chayim hi, lama chazikim ba, v'tomech ha me'oshar. You know, when we put the Torah scroll back into the Ark of the Covenant, back into the Aron, right? We say that, so, and we're singing about, let's see, a tree of life it is, right? So, for all those who grasp it, who grasp onto the Torah. So, atzim is the plural of wood or trees. Drop the mem. Atzei, trees of, or woods of, okay, woods of shittim. This is acacia wood, acacia. We have that here in the Philippines. Also, I've seen it in Singapore too. So, ve'asu aron, so they shall make an ark of atzei shittim, acacia wood. Literally woods of acacia, right? Or trees of acacia. Amatayim v'chetzi. Okay, so this is an amma. You guys probably don't know this word. Not to be confused with the servant wife, right? That's different. So this is aleph, mem, hey, same consonants, but this means a forearm length, right? This length from your elbow to the end of the hand, or a so-called kubit, right? Kubit, kubit, however they used to say that. And look, it ends in ayim. Ayim. Notice it's not just im, it's ayim, okay? This is what we call the dual ending. Hebrew has a special ending when you just have two of something, okay? So for example, yad, this is my hand, and now the one on the screen, that's another hand, that's a yad, so that's yadayim, two hands, okay? This is kos, cup, and then kos, cup, kosayim, two cups. If I had more here, I'd say kosim, right? Cups, but just two is kosayim. So ayim at the end means two, which is really interesting when you start thinking about like the word for heaven. How do you say heaven in Hebrew? Shemayim, right? There's two? Why is it in dual? It's kind of mysterious, right? Now, I have my own reason that I think it's in dual, but, you know, like Rashi, he talks about, well, because there was sham over there, mayim is water. That's where the water is, like the clouds and stuff, right? So, interesting explanation. And there's some other explanations. I think shamayim, the word for heaven or sky, is in the dual, is because we have one in the daytime that we see, and then we have the sky, like the whole cosmos, at the nighttime that we see, right? So it's two things that you're seeing, right? There's the daytime view and then the nighttime view, right? The daytime view blocks out most of the cosmos, right? Yofi. Let's see. Also, mayim, water. Water, I don't know why that one's dual in the Hebrew. Maybe because there's two hydrogen atoms. One that I like, though, that's really cool is life. The word life. How do you say life in Hebrew? Chaim, right? Like when we drink wine, what do we say? So for all of those you like to have some wine or something once in a while, or a beer, instead of saying Prost, ich weiß, dass man sagt Prost in Deutschland, yeah? Do we have our Germans here? I know there's a couple German viewers, yeah. Sag mir hallo, wenn Sie hier sind. Well, you can say Prost, right? But we say l'chaim, right? For life, to life, right? When you're banging the mugs together. Yeah, the glasses. Ah, very nice. Tet takes the word for year, and she puts it in the dual. Shanatayim, 2 years, exactly. Yom is day, yomayim, 2 days. And for some reason, life, chaim, yeah, l'chaim, exactly, Tet got it. For some reason, life occurs in the dual. And I think, again, I didn't read this somewhere, but I'm just thinking, I think it might be, you guys let me know if you think it's goofy or not. I think it might be because we have two lives. We have this life, and then the life after the resurrection, which might be short if you're struck down, if you're judged to be thrown in the lake of fire, right? And then you get kind of destroyed. Or you live forever, right? So, Chaim, you have this life and the next life, right? So, Shalom, Gabriel, glad you made it. Tevya, Gary's back on Tevya. Did I reference Tevya somehow? I thought I didn't reference him today. Did I do a Tevya reference? Tevya the milker, the milkman. I gotta watch that again. I haven't seen that in probably 20 years. Well, it's a little bit depressing. Okay, let's see. Where were we? Very nice, guys. Okay, so that's the dual, I am. So amatayim means 2 cubits. 2 forearm lengths, okay? And you might think, hey, wasn't it all different? They did have a royal standard, right? So it's not like everybody out there, if the king said, make it 2 cubits, not like they're like, okay, well, I'm a short guy, I got shorter cubits than you, right? They had a royal standard, okay? There was a royal standard. Just like there was a standard, the shekel, and there was a temple shekel. You know, they had like official standard units back then. It wasn't like everyone is a different, you know. Ah, cool, Debs likes the 2 lives. All right, good. Oh, the song, right? Okay, I got you. To life, l'chaim. Yeah. Your daughter, my wife. Except she's not, sucker. Thanks for the chickens. Okay, v'chetzi and chetzi, half of orko. Okay, orech is a length, like we say orech yamim, lengthy days, right? Like, may he give you lengthy days. Or there's even the verb, ya'aroch. Like in the 10 Commandments, you honor your father and your mother. What happens if you honor, or it could mean if you honor your ancestors, right? You do the traditions your ancestors laid down. Then what will happen? Was it? Ya'arichun yamecha al hadama shenispa. Okay, so ya'arichun, ya'arichu, they will be lengthened, and then the un is an exclamation point. Yamecha, your days will be lengthened, right? So this is all from that same root. So orech, and also orech apayim, this is a Jewish Aramaic expression. It means long-faced, right? That's patient. It's patient, right? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Orech apayim from the nostrils. It's Hebrew. Long nostrils means you're patient. Yeah. It happens also in Aramaic. I'm getting my stuff mixed. So orko, his length. So v'chetzi. So amatayim v'chetzi, 2.5 cubits will be orko, its length, the length of the aron, the ark. V'ama v'chetzi, and 1.5 rochbo. Rochev is the width, its width. V'ama v'chetzi, and 1.5 kohomato. It's comatose. No. Koma is from kum, right? Kum, you remember kum? Kum. Get up. Like Yeshua says to the girl who everybody thought she's dead, he says what? Kuma tabitha. Get up, girl. Get up, girl. She gets up, right? Kuma. So if someone is in a coma, you want them to kuma. Maybe that'll help you remember. Picture someone in a coma and they get up, okay? Or a zombie getting up, whatever helps. So koma ending in a hey, that is the height. Okay? The height, we change the hey to a tav, of it, or him. Hey. Shalom, Vicky. Great. All right, we're getting increased count. I like it. Please, everybody, remember to like. Okay? And if you'd like to support our ministry, we always are in need. So it's not like, people oftentimes think, oh, he's American, he's Israeli, you got to be rich. We're not rich. Okay, we're not rich. We scrape by. So I usually hate to ask, but I'm trying to get better about asking. It's hard to get used to that. But please consider giving to our ministry. You can sign up for a monthly gift if you like at patreon.com/Hebrew Literacy, and it's in the description down below. Or if you want to do a one-time gift or just kind of control it yourself, you can send to us on our PayPal, paypal.me, like me, /Hebrew Literacy. It won't work if you do paypal.com. It has to be paypal.me/Hebrew Literacy. We're very grateful for anything you feel moved to give, yeah? All right, back back to our regularly scheduled translation. Okay, great. Komato, the komat of O, of him. Verse 11, Yod Aleph. Look at that artifact. It's flashing there, right? Weird. Maybe my light. Let me see if I can. Oh, yeah, it's worse. Ah! There we go. Just right. Almost. We're still operating on the dragon camera, by the way. So if I look like super white, that's why. That's why. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, Landa Point makes a good point there. Please check it out, guys. Okay. Vetsipita otoho zahav. Okay. This verb, I don't think you know it. Okay. Tsipita, it's from tsari, pe, he. It means to overlay or to coat, right? Like to coat something with paint or to overlay it with, like some kind of like shingles on a roof or something. So tsipita, that means you overlaid. Vet tsipita means and you will overlay. Oto, it, not the guy from Deep Space Nine, the changeling, Odo, not him. Oto, don't overlay Odo. With zahav, with gold. Sorry, I'm a sci-fi buff. I really like science fiction. Okay. You can probably tell, right? If you've been to our Messianic chat, who's the symbol on the group? It's Spock, right? By the way, do you guys know why we have Spock there? It's not just because we like sci-fi. Other than Spock being very logical, which is like a Jewish characteristic. Well, the actor was Jewish, Leonard Nimoy. So was the first captain. So was Captain Kirk, William Shatner. It doesn't sound like it, right? Shatner. It doesn't sound like a Jewish name. I don't know. Maybe it's a stage name or something. But I read that he and Leonard Nimoy used to chat in Yiddish when they were having breaks on the set and stuff. Like practice their Yiddish with each other. And I saw an interview with Leonard Nimoy in Yiddish. It's really cool. But the Mama Lotion, it's called the mother tongue. Mama Lotion is Yiddish. And anyway, he's the one who came up with the idea for the Vulcan greeting, right? And I think most of you probably know where it's from. It's for when the priests, the descendants of Aaron, or when we don't have, descendants of Aaron, maybe a rabbi will do it. We cover the face, right, with the talit, the parashal, and you go like this, and you cross your hands, and you do this over the people, right? That's the way it's done, right? It's the symbol, right? Okay, it's a sheen. See, it's a sheen, Hebrew sheen on each hand, standing for Shaddai, El Shaddai, like putting the mark of Shaddai over the people. And anyway, and so when you have real priests in the congregation, remember, in Judaism, you can't become a priest. You have to be born, right? I'm not a priest, You have to be from Aaron's lineage, right? And and Levites aren't priests either. It's only a very small group of the Levites, very small. So we know who the Levites are today. We know who the priests are, and the rest of us are just like mutts, mostly Judah, right? But the priests, but it's really cool. They stand up there like this with the talit covering their faces, and the Levites get on their knees in front of them, serving the priests, right? And they serve the priests, and they tell the priests the words to say, and the priests say the blessing over the people. And if you've ever experienced this, it's a real blessing. You really do get blessed. But anyway, so you're not supposed to look, okay? You're not supposed to look in case the glory of Hashem shows up and like blinds you. So, but Leonard Nimoy, when he's a kid, he looked up, and he saw the priest going like this. So that stuck with him. So later in Star Trek, when they're thinking what to do for the Vulcan greeting, he suggested this. So it's from Yiddishkeit. It's a Jewish thing. So that's why if you're wondering in the Messianic group, why Spock is there. It's not just like being crazy sci-fi buffs. There is a method to our madness, so. Haha, Landa remembers Odo. Great. All right. Where were we here? So the previous page said Zahav. Overlay it with Zahav. What kind? Tahor. Now, if you don't remember Tahor, those of you who like to do Messianic praise and worship, you might know a song. It goes like this. It's Psalm 51. Lev Tahor Bera'ali Ruach Elohim Chadesh Bekirbi. Create, O Lord, a heart for thee. Renew, O God, my spirit in me. Right? So it's that when David's asking for forgiveness and he wants to have a new heart, right? Over the Bathsheba issue. So Lev, heart, we know heart, right? Lev, and then Tahor, a pure heart, which really means a pure mind. In biblical Hebrew, heart usually means mind, right? So he's saying, give me a pure mind so I don't even think of sinning anymore, right? I don't want to have these nasty thoughts, etc., etc. So Tahor is pure. In this case, it's zahav tahor, pure gold. It's not an alloy. Mi'bayit u'michutz. Okay. Now, I'll be literal and then I'll translate it, okay? Mi, you know mi. Mi is from min, meaning from, and that's why there's the dagesh in the bait, okay? So min from bayit. So does it really say from a house? This is where the nuancing starts to come in. Bayit does mean house, okay? But it can mean some other things too. So in architectural terms, many of the words in architecture in Hebrew are like related to body parts or sometimes plants, stuff like this. In this case, bayit means on the inside. I guess the idea, maybe they developed this way if you think about it. The idea is that when you're at your house, what do? You want to be on the inside, right? You're on the inside of the house. So this word, it can mean house, but it can also mean inside, if it's an architectural technical term. That's what it means here. So plated with gold, with pure gold, with, vetzipita oto, bezahav tahor. You shall overlay it with pure gold, mibayit, from the inside, u'michutz, and the outside. Okay? And from the outside. Chutza is outside usually, right? But chutz, it's got the meaning of outside. So inside the ark is gold, and outside it's all plated with gold all around. My father used to say that, he like kind of a jack of all trades. He fixed laser printers back in the day and stuff. But he used to say the ark was a capacitor, like a giant capacitor. So basically you've got the conductive materials, the gold, and then inside you have the shittim wood, right? So that's your not insulator. What's it called? The capacitors, the thing that doesn't conduct electricity. Of the layers of it. Any electrical engineers out there, kind of remind me what it's called? Having a brain cloud. All right. Okay. Tetzapenu, you shall overlay it. Ve'asita ilaiv zer zahav saviv. Okay. Ve'asita, so asa, dielectric. Thank you, Gary. All right, nice. The dielectric, yeah. Okay, asita from asa, to do or to make. Asita, you made. Ve'asita changes the time, changes really the aspect. And you shall make alive upon it, upon, ive, the vav is it, meaning the aron. Aron is the chest or the ark, aron. And by the way, we call the Ark of the Covenant all kinds of stuff. It's called the Aron HaKodesh, right? The holy chest, like the holy box. It's called the Aron HaBarit, the Ark of the Covenant, right? Of the Barit, right? Barit, like Brit Milah is the circumcision. It's called the Aron HaEdut, the Ark of the Pact, right? Or the testimonies, you could say, because it had the Ten Commandments inside. I think that's all. I think just those three terms. There might be something else. Okay, what are we going to put on top of it? A zeil. Zeil. Kind of a rare word. You're not going to see this a lot. Zeil. So this is like a border, like a framed border, right? A framed border. A zeil. What kind of zeil? Zer zahav. A border of gold. And we've had saviv. Saviv. And we've reviewed it recently. You guys remember I have the little dreidel, the svivon. He's spinning around. He's got legs. He's like turning around and stuff on it. You remember? Saviv. Saviv means around. Okay? It's from the verb savav, to go around or to encircle. So all around the top, there'll be this zer, like a border or a frame. Yeah, Tet got it around. Good. Okay, I've earned a drink. It's an interesting cinnamon tea or something. I was hoping it'll keep me from sneezing and stuff while I teach. All right. You guys have any comments or questions? I feel good. I feel the Ruach HaKodesh. I really feel like Hashem is with us. Hope you guys are understanding. May He bless your minds and your understanding and your memory. May you have supernatural memory and even be amazed how quickly you're learning the Holy Tongue. Okay. Hey, shalom, Dr. Devera. Glad you made it. Ted says maybe fitted. Yeah, that would work. Okay. Gary says, I wonder how the gold was adhered to the wood. Ted says maybe. Yeah, that's a good question. So I should point out that the term that we read, the tzapita to tzape, it is to overlay, but the same term is used with the menorah, with the holy candelabra, right? The holy menorah. And we're told that they banged out the gold on that. They banged it out, right? So this could have been some kind of foiling, right? It could have been some kind of foiling, right? And they banged it out to make it stretch really, really wide, right? So it's not necessarily, it doesn't, yeah, it's not really necessarily, what would you say? Like pouring melted gold on there or something like that, right? I'm just going to destroy the wood, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Verse 12. Oh, actually, let me see. Another question? Okay, that's just Dr. Varys. Yeah, okay. All right. Landa says, could it have been painted on? I don't think so. Well, I could be wrong. You know, that's interesting because many years ago, I was in Dubai, okay? And I wanted to learn to read Arabic, right? So I used to live in Ukraine, and there was like a crazy Fridays. They had these like $100 plane tickets. You could fly out somewhere on a Friday early, and round trip ticket for $100, right? So I flew to Dubai to work on my Arabic because I thought, oh, the street signs will be in Arabic. It's kind of wild, like seeing Starbucks written with Arabic letters and McDonald's with Arabic letters and stuff. But anyway, so this is different than the time where I didn't want to be there and I kind of put through where it was a risk. But anyway, I went to this art gallery, a little art gallery. You know, the lady all covered, just she had blue eyes. It was kind of interesting. The seller, all you could see were her eyes. And they had this really cool piece that it was from the Quran, right? So obviously not going to put that up in my house or something, but it's beautiful. And it was gold and silver. And the artist had melted the metals, and it was a Pakistani artist. And of course he had recently died, so it's worth more now. But he was able to quickly write in calligraphy from the melted metal on there, right? With the beautiful, Arabic is a beautiful looking language, right? The very nice looking, decorative. And I'd be glad that we're doing Hebrew. In Hebrew, all of our letters, they're all the same, right? Each letter has its same form except for 5 of them, right? Have a final form. In Arabic, every letter has a standalone form, a beginning form, a medial form, and a final form. So you got to learn a whole bunch of stuff just to get to where you can read, right? So learning to read Hebrew, much, much easier. But so your idea might be right. It's possible they could have done something like where they're melting it and, putting it on. I suppose that's possible. I never thought of that. Nice idea, Landa. Yeah, it was really beautiful. I was thinking, man, that might be neat to learn how to do that. If any artists out there be careful, please. Melted metals, to do something from the Torah, I mean, that could be pretty cool, right? Or from a psalm or something with a nice Hebrew calligraphy in silver or gold or, I don't think you'd want to do copper. It'd be way too hot to melt copper. But, anyway, let's see. Yeah, it was really beautiful. I wanted it, even though it was Quran. I wanted it. I was like, man, that's beautiful. Okay, let's see. Okay, verse Yod Beit 12. V'yatzakta lo arba'a tabe'ot zahav. Okay, let's stop there. V'yatzakta. So yatzak is to pour or to cast, right? So you shall cast. Yatzakta. Yatzakta reminds us of atta, you, masculine you, right? So that's the ta from atta. So yatzak, pour, ta. Yatzakta, you poured, but the vav makes it future. Ve yatzakta. So you will pour, lo, for, the lamed is for, for it, for him. Arba, that's 4. Arba, yeah, it'd be beautiful, right? Arba, 4. Tabe'ot. So, funny. A taba or taba'at is a ring or a metal loop, right? So it can be a little ring on a finger, like, in modern Hebrew, there's a book called, what was it? It's Adon HaTaba'ot, Lord of the Rings. It's translated. Yeah, it's translated. So the Lord of the Rings is Adon ha-tabaot. Lord of the tabaot, rings. Okay, so this is rings, tabaot, rings. Hey, shalom, Alec. Good to see you, Achi. 4 rings of zahav, gold. And this was also one of our Hebrew words of the day, so hopefully you remember that. Venatata, and you shall put al, upon, or with arba'ah, 4 pa'amotiv. Okay, so this is a bit harder. So a pa'am is means a lot of things. So pa'am can be like a stride, like, like a pa'am, right? Or it can also be like a foot, but not a human foot. Okay, it's not a human foot. A pa'am is like on furniture. You understand? Pa'am. Like, have you ever seen some of those tables and they have like lion's feet or something? That's a pa'am, okay? So, you shall put upon arba, the 4 pa'amotiv of its feet, so 4 of its feet, so the 4 feet, upon its 4 feet, ushete tabaot, and 2 of, this is from shtayim, or shnayim, it can be either way, so shtayim becomes shtei, 2 of is literally what the Hebrew is saying, 2 of tabaot, of rings, so 2 rings, al, upon, or by, tsara. So a tsara is a rib, like, a rib, right? A rib. But that means the side in architectural terms. A lot of times there's body parts used in Hebrew architecture. So the tsara, the rib of him, it's rib. Ha-echat. Echat, it's just from echad. Echad is the masculine for one, or united. And achat is just the feminine, okay? Because it's talking about the rib, the side. Ha-echat, the one side, ushete tabaot, and 2 rings, al by tzal'o, its rib, ha-shenit, the second one. Hey, shalom, breath of life. Breath of life says, shalom, happy I made it today. I pray everyone is doing well. Great, we're happy you made it too. And shalom, Riley says, hi, Rabbi Yirmiyahu ben Avram, I am watching your video before I go to school. Great, good for you. Get that nice Hebrew education going first. You know who else went to Hebrew school? Elon Musk. Richest guy in the world, or maybe second richest. It changes, right? So, yeah, he went to Hebrew school. I saw an interview with him. He said when he was a kid, his parents made him go to Hebrew school. So, I don't know what's up with that. Okay, but it certainly didn't harm him. Verse Yod Gimel, 13. Maybe this will be the last one, because we're almost 45 minutes in. Ve'asita vade atse shetim. Okay, we'll stop there at the etnachta, the wishbone. Just going to mute my computer. Ve'asita, and you shall make vade. Okay, a vad is a pole, kind of like a dowel. A vad, shows up both ways. So badim would then be poles. We drop the mem, bade, poles of, right? So badim, anything ending in im, you delete the mem, and it's that of, right? So bade, poles of atse shidim, of acacia wood. Okay? Vetzipita otam zahav. And you shall overlay otam. So this is et. This is the DDO, the definite direct object marker. And then we put a mem on the end, which makes it them. So otam, you shall overlay them. And then it doesn't say the word with. It could have said be for with, but it doesn't. Zahav. You shall overlay them. Zahav. Gold. Okay, let's see. So we made through verse 13. Let me see real quick what I scheduled. Let me make sure we at least covered our... Oh, 13. Perfect. And we're right at 44 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay, any comments or questions, guys? Hey, Riley, you're going to make it to school in time. Don't want to be responsible if you're late. Did you guys understand everything? Or you have some general grammar questions about Tanachit, Biblical Hebrew? Woo! Gary says gold melts at 1,950 degrees. Wood ignites around 500 degrees. So that might not work. Might not work. Yeah, so maybe it wasn't done that way. Yeah, I wonder how that artist did it. Maybe he did some kind of alloy too, right? To make it so it wasn't so hard to work with, right? So probably it was pounded out then. I think we resort back to our pounding out theory. Yeah, thanks for checking on that, Gary. Ken says, really beautiful. Yeah, Baruch Hashem, Achi. Yeah, can you imagine seeing the ark back then? What it actually looked like? Just incredible, right? Do you guys feel it? I mean, when we're in the Hebrew text and reading through it, I mean, there's always some kind of like power there. You know, I don't know, like usually you can feel some kind of peace, shalom, and it's just a joy, right? Isn't it just a joy to be in his holy word in the original language? Just, yeah. Hope you guys are experiencing that. Okay, we're almost at 46 minutes. Landa says, interesting, I wonder how it stuck to the wood without falling off. Yeah. You know, it's interesting. The Bible has a lot of stuff. When you read Isaiah, you're going to find all kinds of like goldsmithing terms, you know, and he has all this vocabulary about these very highly customized professions, right? And so, yeah, but it doesn't explain it all. You know, I should check. Maybe I'll check. I'll see if the Mikol Gedolot says, hey, let me look. Let me see if I can, let's see. Let me check something here. Real quick. Let's see if we have, actually, while that's searching, let me do it real quick. Real quick, you can go if you need to go, guys. Those of you who need to go. But let's check the Mikol Gedolot and see if we have, maybe a commentator tells us what the tradition is on that. 21, 25, what's that verse? What verse are we on here? Where it says about the plating with gold. Okay, verse 11. Yeah, verse 11. Okay. 13. Just check real quick. Maybe we get some little... Sorry to keep you on if there ends up not being any... Okay, let's see. Oh, this is going to take a while. There's the Or Chaim wrote a whole lot. I mean, just to kind of show you what we're dealing with here. So, okay, here is... Here's our verse 11, right? Verse 11. I was hoping there'd just be some succinct things, right? So it's telling us you shall overlay it with pure gold from the inside, okay? And then here we have, Rashi doesn't answer, but here we have the Or HaChaim. He like wrote all this. And look, we're not on a new verse, the next page. So I might have to look through that offline. Yeah, I was hoping we'd have some kind of answer on it while you guys are still here. But I don't think so. Chesed Ken says, thanks, Shema, you really are good. Praise God, Baruch Hashem, Kol Kavod Lo, all glory to Hashem. Gary says, I'm not an engineer, but I tend to think in those terms. Yeah, you're a programmer, right? You're a software engineer. It's kind of, I would count that. Oh, Dr. DeVere says, I don't think they melted gold and poured on wood. Gold must be nailed to the wood. Okay. Yeah, maybe nailing. Okay, that's interesting. Thanks for that, Doc. Yeah, so it could be nailing, right? Let me check one. Hold on, I have one more source here. I'll check real quick. Let me see if we can. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Really would like to. Yeah, sorry. I really wanted to get an answer for you guys before we left, but these sections are big. It's going to take a while. Okay? Maybe next time. Maybe I can have it for you by tomorrow. Okay? Hey, great. Riley understood really well. That's great. And you got to go in 10 minutes. Okay, great. So I'm going to go too. You guys be well. Shalom, shalom. Keep up your learning. Tomorrow we're in the